Okay, greetings and salutations. I'm going to do a little problem here, again, some more with area. It says find the area of the shaded region. So the shaded region, again, we're going to take 3 times, but of the shaded region, the width is x, so I'm going to put 3 times question mark because we don't know what x is. I'll put a dot there, okay? So if only I knew what that x was, I would be able to easily find the answer. Well, now what we need to do then is shift our attention to the area of this non-shaded part. So I need to set up my own length, width. And the length is x plus 1, okay? Now the width, you don't see it, but look at the other side, it's x, okay? So it's going to be x plus 1 times x. So again, we want to multiply that out. This is pretty easy to multiply. We just take 1x times 1x. And then I take, and that's done then I take 1 times 1x, okay? So 1 times 1 is 1. That'd be x to the second, and 1 times 1 is 1, and that'd be x to the first, okay? So basically what I have then is none of the powers are the same, so it's 1x squared plus 1x, okay? All right, now let's pull that down here. So we need to get that multiplied out. So I write 1x squared plus 1x equals, and they told me the area was 56, so that's equal to 56, okay? So I go into my equation solving process. There are 2 answers. And I have x to the second along with regular x, so we need to get our equation here. Instead of 56, I want 0, so I'm minus 56. That's kind of a reject. It can't go with anything, so I'm going to minus 56 up there. So now my equation's 1x squared plus 1x minus 56 equals 0. Okay, now it's time to factor. Let's underline to count the terms. There's 3 terms, so I would want to go with my GCF. And then my T box, okay? So GCF, I do not have the negative in front. I don't have x on everything. If I plug 156 into the GCF calculator, it's just going to say 1, so the GCF's not worth my time. Okay, so I take A times C, positive 1 times negative 56. That's going to give me a negative. So I'm looking for a difference that equals 1. Okay, 56 minus 1 is not 1. 2 and 28, that ain't 1 either. 56 divided by 3 is a decimal. 56 divided by 4 is 14. That is not 1. 56 divided by 5 is a decimal. 56 divided by 6 is a decimal. 56 divided by 7 is 8. Okay, 8 minus 7 is 1, so I found them. Now that 1 I was trying to come up with is a positive, so the 8 needs to be positive, and if it's a difference, the signs should not match. Okay, we want to know what A equals, and it's just a 1 here, so that's good, because I know that I can just break that up. Since it's 1x squared, we can go x and x, only thing that could be, and then minus 7 plus 8. No GCF to bring down. So that's F1 and that's F2. Okay, so x minus 7 can equal 0 or x plus 8 can equal 0. So I plus 7, I get 7. Minus 8, I get negative 8. Now, so those are the 2 answers. Now we take the positive answer up here and put that in for the question mark. So 7 times 3 is 21. So the area of the shaded region was 21 square units. Okay, there's a couple more where that came from. shaded region, okay? 3 times question mark, okay? So we better get a length width done right here. And that now I'm looking at the white part, okay? So x minus 2. And then the length, that's going to be x, okay? So x. Now to multiply that, let's put ones, and it's a 1-2-step process, okay? So I take 1x times 1x, and that's done with that. Then I take negative 2 times 1x. Okay, if you want to put ones there, I would do that. So that's 1, got to put it here, x second, and that's going to be negative 2x1, okay? So check mark that. And then for my x's, they're not the same, so I'm just going to write 1x to the second plus negative 2x. I would prefer not to put that 1, okay? So now I bring that over here, 1x second plus negative 2x equals, and the area for that was 48. Okay, now we have to solve the equation, and there are 2 answers. And I get x to the second and x, so that means we need to have a 0. So minus 48. Can't subtract it here or here, so it's a reject. Okay. 0, so I have 1x to the second. If it's plus negative, write minus 2x at this point, and then minus 48. Okay, now there are 3 terms. Okay, so with 3 terms, we know the process. It's GCF. And then my T-chart. Okay. GCF, you don't have a negative, you don't have X on everything. If you punch in 1, 2, 48, it's just going to give you a 1 GCF, so get rid of that. Okay, and I take A times C, so positive 1 times negative 48 gives me negative 48. So if that's a negative, we're looking for a difference, and that difference needs to equal 2. Okay, that's not 2. That's not 2. 16 minus 3 is not 2. 48 divided by 4 is 12. That's not 2. 48 divided by 5 is a decimal. 48 divided by 6 is 8. That's 2. Okay, so we have them. Okay, so my B is minus, so we've got to have minus 8. And difference, well, they can't match. Okay, what does A equal? A is a 1. Okay, so since A is a 1, we can make our 2 parentheses. Plus 6 minus 8, and there's no GCF to bring down, so that's my F1, that's my F2, and now I can solve. So x plus 6 equals 0, x minus 8 equals 0. Minus 6, I get negative 6 for my first one. Okay, negative 6 plus 8 plus 8, 1x equals 8. Now I take my positive answer, the 8, and put it up in for my question mark. So 3 times 8 is 24. Okay, so 24 square units. It's very smart to organize your work, okay? This is me multiplying the length and width. This square is for me to set that equal to the area and then move the area over. And then this part is for the factoring. You can do it if you organize your work smartly instead of all over the place, okay? Next one. Now it's 4 times question mark, because I know this is 4. I don't know this. It's all about the shaded, but I need to use the white part to find what the x is, because that's the one I actually know the area for. So in this square here, we take the length times the width, and the length is x plus 3, 1x plus 3. And the width, I don't see that, but I know it's x, okay? So 1x. Now, multiply that out using your step 1, step 2. Okay, so I take 1x times 1x, and that's done. And then I take 3 times 1x. So it's 1, and then x to the second, that's 3x to the first, okay? So check that off. Now, no powers are the same, so it's 1x to the second plus 3x. Okay, that's that part. Now, take that expression down here and make an equation of it because the area is equal to 56. Okay, now before I leave this box, there's 2 answers. As you can see, we have x second and x. So those x's you see are not like terms that you can just add. So you need to have your 0 present. So I'm minus 56. And that would go in reject zone. And now I have 1x to the second plus 3x minus 56 equals 0. Now I'm ready for my boxes. There's 3 terms, so GCF. And the T-chart. Okay. GCF, negative in front, I think not. You got X on everything? No. If you punch in 1, 3, and 56, it's going to say 1, so get rid of it. Okay. And I take A times C, positive 1 times negative 56, and that's going to be negative 56. And I screwed this up a little bit. That's not supposed to say 56. It's supposed to say 54. Okay, so make that 54. Okay, so 1 times 54. 54, so it's negative. You're looking for a difference of 3. Okay. That's not it. 24 divided by 2 is 27. I had to change that because I wrote the wrong problem. We were never going to find 56. There doesn't exist 2 factors. 54 divided by 3 is 18. 18 minus 3 ain't 3. 54 divided by 4 is a decimal. Divided by 5 is a decimal. And then 6 and 9. Okay, so I've got plus 3, so it's plus 9. The difference, they cannot match. And A equals 1. Remember, if it doesn't equal 1, you need 2 sets, but it does on all these problems. Okay, so XX, and then minus 6 plus 9. Okay, GCF, we didn't have one, so it's F1, F2. So X minus 6 is 0. X plus 9 is 0. Plus 6, I get 6. Minus 9, I get negative 9. Now take your positive answer up here, and now put that in for your question mark. 4 times 6 is 24.